Previously on Horrible Film Recaps.
I wanted you to hear it from me. I'm in love with your daughter.
Well, I can't say I approve, but if you're happy, go forth and multiply.
Remember, it's not illegal until they're born.
Hey, there's a rat with a hat. Let's break his legs.
And now on to our feature presentation. The title of this movie is The 10 Commandments, not to be confused with The 10 Commitments, which is a jukebox musical and has nothing to do with commanding anything at all.
We don't know who struck first, us or them, but we know that it was us that scorched the sky.
Here, you see ancient aliens using advanced technology to move a statue, since she already has a grown child. This woman places the extra one into a waste basket. Meanwhile, Grandpa here tests out his new gold-plated Lazy Boy recliner. When his children hear he loves it, they rejoice. She places the extra kid into the river to begin its life as a Disney Jungle Cruise tour guide. While noodling for catfish, this woman finds yet another baby basket someone left floating in the river. See, kids, this is how babies were delivered in ancient times, before they invented the stork. Not wanting another mouth to feed, they quickly dispose of the baby and never talk about it again. At the beauty salon of silly haircuts, King Baldy refuses a free head waxing and opts for the more elegant Kinder Egg hat instead. Eve Harrington hates these flowers and wishes they get the hell off her balcony. Neville walks into the throne room. They honour him by covering the floor with potato chips. Upon his arrival from theatre camp, he announces his desires to become a close-up street magician. He invites his fellow illusionists to take the stage and introduces Magical Randy and his assistant Janet. He is also excited to share the stage with Articuno the Magnificent. Egghead and Mongkut voice their displeasure and wish Neville wouldn't quit his day job. Wanting to teach him some magic, Eve shows Neville the old disappearing hat trick. As you can see, construction has already begun on the brand new Pyramid World shopping plaza. This poor old lady gets stuck under the gigantic stone block and is slowly ground into a fine paste. Neville helps his team members scoop out some sawdust so it can absorb the spillage. These workers are tasked with directing the ancient alien spacecraft to the proper landing platform. Watching the progress of the pyramid construction gets this master builder very excited. Neville and Mongkut play a quick game of trinkets and bricks. Trying to impress this man, Neville uses sleight of hand to make this mummy's alive action figure appear out of thin air. Eve Harrington is excited that her order of magician's handkerchiefs have finally arrived. The old lady tells her she will never master street-level magic. Eve proves the old lady wrong by making her disappear. Neville tells Eve that he wants to become an illusionist. She tells him they won't survive on a magician's income, so he has to go back to his day job. At the pudding factory, Neville helps gather the cocoa powder. Mondays. Am I right? He says. This guy stops working and yells,
"I'm Spartacus!"
His supervisor responds, "You're in the wrong f***ing movie." Glad that he's finally been fired. These men celebrate. Having mastered the art of close-up magic, Eve asks Neville to pick a card.
He chose poorly.
And the king declares him banished from Pyramid World forever. With too much time on his hands, he takes up a new hobby, getting drunk and passing out. Too drunk to walk, he pauses when he hears an old familiar voice.
"Never,"
it said as he looked for the source.
"You will go to the Dagobah system. There you will learn from Yoda."
So he wanders around aimlessly looking for the master magician known simply as Yoda. Meanwhile, on his deathbed, King Egghead tells his family of his one regret. Dying, he finally stumbles across a small encampment of vagabonds and ne'er-do-wells. The young ruffians argue over who gets to throw a quarter in the well. Seeing the chance, Neville practices using his magic wand. And much to the delight of the women, he also masters the magic reappearing bucket trick. While seeking out Yoda, Neville fights his way through a flock of carnivorous sheep. Scaling the top of Mount Dagobah, he finally reaches his destination.
Teach you the ways of street magic, I will.
The funky, glowing tree said,
A master magician you shall become.
5 hours later.
Ready you are. Now go.
Though they beg him to stay, Neville must return to Pyramid World to fulfill his destiny. Since we are at intermission, I wanted to talk to you about today's sponsor. If you like listening to music online while playing a video game that allows you to win real food, then look no further than Hello Raidcon VPN. For the low price of $62.84 a month, use Hello Raidcon VPN for all your music listening, gaming, online security and healthier dieting needs. And you can use our promo code HORRIBLEPRODUCTS to get 213% off your first purchase. So sign up now, or they'll beat me. They will. Hello Raidcon VPN, brought to you by our sponsor, Zenni Optical. And now back to our regularly scheduled recap. Upon his arrival at the Pyramid World Visitor Center, he dazzles the crowd with the old changing the staff into a venomous snake routine. He also warns the townspeople about the dangers of a pool table in their community. He finally gets to tell that uppity bitch that he is a master magician, like his father before him. The poor townspeople complain about the urine-filled swimming hole. Neville uses his magic to change the urine into fruit punch. Mongkut complains because he prefers to taste the golden spray. Neville then declares himself king of all magicians. For his next trick, Neville sets Mongkut's patio on fire. King Mongkut grows weary of Neville's magical shenanigans. Using his magic, Neville vows to make Caillou disappear. His powers growing, he summons the spirit of David Copperfield. Upset that his son Caillou hasn't reappeared yet, Mongkut tells Neville to complete his magic trick. Neville refuses, claiming he won't do 2 shows a night. He just won't. As word of the Master Magician's amazing magical mastery spread, people started paying attention, and he soon gained a large following. At Magic Con 700 BC, Neville was the main headliner. These kids are learning that this stubborn donkey is being a pain in the ass. Upset that she wasn't invited to Magic Con, Eve produces a sword out of thin air. Concerned about his missing son, Mongkut summons an Uber to take him to the convention center. These 2 gentlemen are overjoyed to see Mongkut's stunt driver's team in action. Angry that Mongkut is stealing his audience, Neville performs a simple conjuring spell.
I want to cast Magic Missile.
And for some reason that breaks the ocean. This freaks out the normies, and they run like goofy egghead chickens. Mongkut embraces his inner mermaid and becomes part of their world. Professor Not-So-Smart tries teaching a class, but left his blackboard at home. Still bitter about the whole ocean incident, the people demand a refund. Upset that his fans have turned on him, Neville seeks shelter at the foot of Mount Doom. Having lost interest in all forms of street-level magic, these people find this statue utterly irresistible. Pressured to stay relevant or end up back at the pudding factory, Neville tries to sell copies of his autobiography. He even offers to autograph them, but nobody wants a book about a washed-up magical has-been. He gets angry with rage and performs one last magic trick. The critics called it groundbreaking, but the public was not impressed. To avoid any further backlash, Neville dons a fake beard and escapes into the wilderness. He finds himself beardless and at the beach, and makes a shocking discovery.
You maniacs! You blew it up! Damn you all to hell!
This concludes the movie recap. I once saw a magician make a stick of margarine disappear. It wasn't a great trick, but it was better than nothing. And that, folks, is how you make an audience groan, then disappear. Good day to you all.